Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the first video I'm making and I wanted it to be about my testimony because I am already posting videos on TikTok and I haven't really sat down and talked about my whole story. It's a lot, so I'm gonna try to summarize it but still give out details. So let's get started. So basically my whole life I grew up religious, or I went to church. Basically I grew up in church since a very young age. I was presented at church as a baby, and me and my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister, we all always went to church. And I even was in a dance group at church, so I danced in front of the whole service and stuff. And my dad actually played the piano at church also, and my mom helped with the PowerPoint technical stuff at one point. So we were all very involved. My sister danced, dad did music, mom helped, and she was always involved. So from a very young age I knew that we believed in someone called God, okay? But I never really actually had my own personal relationship. I didn't actually think why do we believe in God? Who is this God? I just knew that we believed in God. My whole dad side of my family did, and I kind of just went along with it. I knew right from wrong, of course, because I grew up in a Christian household. But around the age of 15, 14, I started to do my own questioning of why we believed in God. I started to just try and find what makes sense, because I was truly lost. I don't know, there's a lot of things going on after my parents' divorce, and some things that were just going on personally for me. I did struggle with anxiety and depression at one point, and I was just very in a dark place. And we stopped going to church, so that was another thing that was not really important anymore in my life. So I was trying to refine and regain what is this God? Why do people call on him when they're in trouble? Around 15, 16, up until honestly until I was 18, I was pretty much just doing whatever I wanted. I would sin constantly every day. I would swear so much. I would be reactive. I would be mad. I would be filled with so much anger and hurt. And I would also stay quiet though. I wouldn't tell my parents. I wouldn't tell anyone what really was going on with me. I kind of just kept to myself, And I was dating. I still am, but I was dating a boyfriend at the time, and he was an atheist. He didn't believe in anything, and I kind of did it. That introduced me to oh wait, what if science is real? What if the Big Bang is actually what created us and whatever? I was really going down that rabbit hole, and I didn't want to. I was never 100% I believe in that, but I was open to it. So I opened my mind to things that were not of God anymore. Around August 2023, I live in Maui, if no one knows that, but we had a pretty horrific event that happened here. The fire that literally took out all of Lahaina, our main historic town of Maui, and it obviously was so devastating to so many, because people lost so many lives. I know people that I grew up seeing that died, and so it was very hard. But what I did take away from that, in that I didn't notice it immediately after the fact, because I was kind of numb. I didn't cry at all. It was really weird, and I was why am I so numb to this? There's something going on here. My whole fire story, I could talk about that a little bit. We were basically at the end, so the fire started on this hill of a mountain, whatever. I don't know if you guys know Lahaina Luna Road, if you guys are watching from Maui, but it started at the top, and I was literally, me and my mom's house, we were living with my mom most of the time, is at the bottom of that mountain hill, whatever. And so when the whole fire happened, we were literally super close to it, and we started evacuating after my mom got home from work, because obviously she had to work, but we all stayed home because there was no school or anything. I mean, I already graduated, so I was good, but I still had work that day, but it got canceled. So basically, we started evacuating around like 3 something, and even as we were evacuating, like the roads were so cramped, so full, and trees were already like down, some wires were down. Like we literally, if we had evacuated maybe even like 10 minutes later, we would have been stuck, you know, like trapped basically, because we were like fenced in, like there was nowhere to go. So we were literally in the corner, and we really had nowhere to go if we had not gone, like if we had not made it out in that time. We were like going out of our house, and I see, obviously there's like a fire already, like a tree burning right at the end of my street. Like there's wires cut down. We went through wire, like the car went over wire, and we were just trying to get out. And there's traffic, of course, because everyone's trying to like leave. And honestly, it was, I don't know why, in my mind I thought I was like immortal or something. Like me and my family could never die. I don't know why I thought that, honestly, but I did. And so in the moment, I think it was the adrenaline kind of keeping me like good. But now that I think of like back on it, like I've reflected so much already. It's been a year. Like we could have died, like if we had not left in that moment. Like everything lined up perfectly so that we were able to make it out, but we were stuck in the traffic for an hour, and we easily could have like it went pitch black, guys. Like that's how bad it was. Like it was black, it was dark at like 4 p.m. in the day. So there's a whole like story I could do on like my whole escaping the fire and stuff, but it's just too much to go into, and I really don't like talking about it too much, but it does also play a huge factor into why I kind of woke up and like realized that I was not spared, just because like God gave me a second chance to truly give my life to him, to truly believe in him. And so after the fire, I moved to my dad's house because he just had more space. I just needed to like kind of have like a new just environment basically. And so I moved to my dad's, and my grandparents also lived there, so I started going to church with them. At first I was still lukewarm, like I was still sinning, and I would go to church and then like still like choose the world. I wasn't really like fully giving my all, but I was starting to open up my ears, guys, because I think a big thing about like non-Christian, non-believers, if you're watching this video, I don't think you'll ever truly get like what all these Christian people are saying, like what these believers are saying, what the Bible is truly saying, until you actually open your ears, like actually give it a chance. Because obviously I grew up my whole life not even knowing who Jesus was, but I literally went to church almost every Sunday, every Friday, like every week of the month I went. And so basically only now I understand who like Jesus is. After the fire, I went to church and stuff, my grandparents, and I slowly started to let go of stuff. Like it wasn't like an overnight process. I started going to this big church here in Maui called King's, and there is where I had like my first encounter with God, because I was at a service and I was just like kind of surrendering to God everything that I am. And I was just like, I don't know if you hear me, like I don't know why you like kind of help me get out of the fire and my family, like I don't know what you want me for, like do you even see me, basically was my question. And this random lady comes up, and we're all in the middle of prayer and everything, like I have no idea who this lady is, but she comes up to me and she's like, God sees you. And she started going on the whole thing about like specific things about my character and my personality, like that only God would know and only the people around me would know, and I've never met her in my life before. So then I obviously felt like this warmness, like from the top of my head to like my toes, hot, like burning. And that's when I truly believe that the Holy Spirit entered me, basically. And that's when I kind of just let loose. I was like, fuck, like this is it, like this is, like I'm yours, God, like you see me, I see you, like we see each other. Ever since then I've had like such a peace and understanding, and I'm not sad anymore. I don't cry myself to sleep every night, and it's just like I don't know why people wouldn't choose God if they actually knew how good he is, and that the Bible is not like, it's not contradicting at all. Like, if you truly sit down there and actually give it a chance, not like read it and be like, oh, like, let's see what this is about. Like, actually give it a chance. You're gonna feel something that you've never felt before, and it's kind of like, it's unexplainable, honestly. Like, I can try to explain it to you how it feels, but you just need to experience it for yourself. Ever since then, I've cut out cursing, swearing, sex before marriage, every single thing you could think about. No listening to secular music. That was a process, a whole nother story. I stopped listening to secular music when basically I had to do my driving test because I'm already 19 and I need to like get myself moving. First time that I tried to do my driver's test, I was still lukewarm. I would go to church, listen to like my own music, back and forth, and I failed my first driving test, and then something inside me said cut off secular music and see what happens, and I did that for the whole week until I could take it again, and I passed the second time, guys. So never felt this amount of peace. Like, I wasn't scared of dying before, but I'm even less now. Like, I want to live, which is crazy because I was suicidal at one point when I was like 15. It was a whole thing, and I don't know, a lot of people around me are saying like I look better, I just seem better, and like they wouldn't want me to go back to the person I was, and I wouldn't want that either. You're struggling with kind of trying to accept God, and if you want to learn more about him, I think you truly have to have like a willing heart. Like, actually don't go by like what church is, because church is basically a place with imperfect people. Like, of course they're gonna hurt you at some point because we're all imperfect, but Jesus won't. He never will, and he never has. So like, give him a chance. Don't give the people a chance, and find a church that's good, because there is. I'm telling you, there is. So I also got baptized on June of this year, and that was definitely a life-changing moment. I've been keeping my perfect record since then, but of course no one's perfect. I still sometimes sin, but it's way different than what it was before, where I was like, didn't even care. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna be posting more, because I do already post on TikTok if you want to go check that out, but I'm gonna start like transferring my talks to here. So hope you enjoyed this video, and God bless you.